Prancer, a horse, prancer's nab, a horse's head used as a seal to a counterfeit pass at the sign of the prancer's pole, i.e., the nag's head. Prate roast, a talkative boy. Prating cheat, the tongue, prats, buttocks, also a tinderbox, cunt. Prattle broth, tea, see chatter broth, scandal, broth, etc. Prattling box, the pulpit. Pray, she prays with her knees upwards, said of a woman much given to gallantry and intrigue, at her last prayers, saying of an old maid. Predamite quakerbites, this great and laudable society, as they term themselves, held their grand chapter at the coal hole. Pork, prick, the virile member. Prick-eared, a prick-eared fellow, one whose ears are longer than his hair, an appellation frequently given to Puritans who considered long hair as the mark of the whore of Babylon. Pricklouse, a tailor. Priestcraft, the art of awing the laity, managing their consciences and diving into their pockets. Priest-linked, married. Priest-ridden, governed by a priest or priests. Prig, a thief, a cheat, also a conceited, comical fellow. Prignapper, a thief-taker. Priggers, thieves in general, priggers of prancers, horse-stealers, priggers of cacklers, robbers of hen-roosts. Prigging, riding, also lying with a woman. Prigster, a rival in love. Prime, bang up, quite the thing, excellent, well done, she's a prime piece, she is very skilful in the venereal act. Prime post, she's a prime article. Primenaki, I had like to be brought into a preliminary, i.e. into trouble from Primenier. Prince Prig, a king of the gypsies, also the head thief or receiver general. Princes, when the majesty of the people was a favourite terror in the House of Commons, a celebrated wit seeing chimney sweepers dancing on a May Day, styled them the young princes. Princod, a pincushion, Scotch, also a round, plump man or woman. Princox, a pert, lively, forward fellow. Princum Prancum, Mrs. Princum Prancum, a nice, precise, formal madam. Prinking, dressing over nicely prinked up as if he came out of a bandbox or fit to sit upon a cupboard's head. Print, all in print, quite neat or exact. Set, screwed up, quite in print, set in a formal manner. Priscian, to break Priscian's head, to write or speak, false grammar. Priscian was a famous grammarian who flourished at Constantinople in the year 525, and who was so devoted to his favourite study that to speak false Latin in his company was as disagreeable to him as to break his head. Prittle prattle, insignificant talk, generally applied to women and children. Prog, provision, rum prog, choice provision. To prog, to be on the hunt for provision, called in the military term. To forage. Props, crutches. Property, to make a property of anyone, to make him a conveniency tool, or cat's paw, to use him as one's own. Proud, desirous of copulation, a proud bitch, a bitch at heat, or desirous of a dog. Provender, he from whom any money is taken on the highway, perhaps provider or provider cunt. Prophet, the cock at Temple Bar, so called in 1788 by the bucks of the town of the inferior order. Prunella, Mr. Prunella, a parson's gown being frequently made of prunella. To pry, to examine minutely into a matter or business. A prying fellow, a man of impertinent curiosity, apt to peep and inquire into other men's secrets. Public man, a bankrupt. Public ledger, a prostitute, because, like that paper, she is open to all parties. Pucker, all in a pucker, in a dishabille, also in a fright, as she was in a terrible pucker. Pucker water, water impregnated with alum or other instingents, used by old experienced traders to counterfeit virginity. Puddings, the guts, I'll let out your puddings. Pudding-headed fellow, a stupid fellow, one whose brains are all in confusion. Pudding sleeves, a parson. Pudding time, in good time or at the beginning of a meal. Pudding formerly making the first dish. To give the crows a pudding to die, you must eat some cold pudding to settle your love. Puff or puffer, one who bids at auctions not with an intent to buy, but only to raise the price of the lot, for which purpose many are hired by the proprietor of the goods on sale. Puff guts, a fat man, puffing, bidding at an auction as above, also praising anything above its merits from interested motives. The art of puffing is at present greatly practised and essentially necessary in all trades, professions, and callings, to puff and blow, to be out of breath. Pug, a Dutch pug, a kind of lapdog, formerly much in vogue, also a general name for a monkey. Pug Compantita, an inferior carpenter, one employed only in small jobs. Pug drink, watered cider. Pug-nosed or puggified, a person with a snub or turned-up nose. Pulley-hauly, to have a game at pulley-hauly, to romp with women. Pull, to be pulled, to be arrested by a police officer. To have a pull is to have an advantage, generally where a person has some superiority at a game of chance or skill. Pump, a thin shoe, to pump, to endeavour, to draw a secret from anyone, without his perceiving it. Your pump is good, but your sucker is dry, said by one to a person who is attempting to pump him. Pumping was also a punishment for bailiffs who attempted to act in privileged places such as the mint, temple, etc. It is also a piece of discipline administered to a pickpocket caught in the fact, when there is no pond at hand, to pump ship, to make water, and sometimes to vomit. Sea phrase. Pump water. He was christened in pump water, commonly said of a person that has a red face. Punch, a liquor called by foreigners, contradiction from its being composed of spirits to make it strong, water to make it weak, lemon juice to make it sour, and sugar to make it sweet. Punch is also the name of the prince of puppets, the chief wit and support of a puppet show. To punch it is a cunt term for running away, punchable, or old passable money. Anno 1695, a girl that is ripe for man is called a punchable wench. Cobbler's punch, urine with a cinder in it. Punk, a whore, also a soldier's trull, see trull. Puny, weak, a puny child, a weak little child, a puny stomach, a weak stomach. Puny or pusny, judge, the last made judge. Pupil mongers, persons at the universities who make it their business to instruct and superintend a number of pupils. Puppy, an affected or conceited coxcomb. Purblind, dim-sighted. Pearl, ale in which wormwood has been infused, or ale and bitters drunk warm. Pearl royal, canary wine with a dash of tincture of wormwood. Purse proud, one that is vain of his riches. Purse nets, goods taken up at thrice their value by young spendthrifts upon trust. Purser's pump, a bassoon, from its likeness to a siphon, called a purser's pump. Pursy or persive, short-breathed or foggy from being over-fat. Pushing school, a fencing school, also a brothel. Put, a country put, an ignorant, awkward clown, to put upon anyone to attempt to impose on him, or to make him the butt of the company. Puzzle cause, a lawyer who has a confused understanding. Puzzle text, an ignorant, blundering parson.